The other thing I had though was with Switch 2 leaks. They have really kind of gotten off now because I know the production did start in China. There's only one thing I really wanted to like kind of talk about and take away from all this, but I'll kind of go through everything that's kind of popped out. So like I said, production has started. There was model images of the design that was put out, and like I said, there was it was a Chinese YouTuber where she 3D printed the new Switch like based on like size and everything to give a direct comparison. So like in terms of size, it's going to be about like the size of a Steam Deck. 12 gigabyte RAM, 2 internal cooling fans. It's a modern NVIDIA GPU. It's got a new dock, built-in mic. But the one thing I really want to talk about is like based on like I saw the huge list of specs, right? And I didn't want to include that shit because it's kind of like the same thing when John and I were talking about the PS5 Pro. Those are just numbers. Who gives a shit?
Okay,
it's the same thing.
I got to derail you real quick. Why are we comparing the size of a Switch 2 to a Steam Deck and not a fucking Switch?
Because it's bigger.
You could say it's a little bigger than the Switch, or if it's
in
20%
terms of size, it's like
20% bigger.
It's to give a good mental image.
Yeah,
on how
but
big
every
it's gonna
family
be.
in the world has a Switch. A fraction of those have a Steam Deck. Nobody knows how big a Steam Deck is.
Well, they can look it up and they can get
Or
a
you
direct
could
comparison.
or someone could use the reference of what every household has. And
got-
it would
he's
make
got a
way
point.
more
I
fucking sense.
I think using Steam Deck as a comparison is fair.
I mean,
think
it's
that's
not.
fair.
Not for the general audience.
For
it's
the
not.
general
I
audience,
think it's fair.
The general audience, anybody who might listen to this probably there's a very high chance they have a Switch in their household.
I mean,
There's
that's
a very
true.
low chance that they have a Steam Deck in their
That's
household.
also true, but
So-
most people
so
know
my-
what a Steam Deck is.
Yeah, but
No.
they know what it is, but hardly any of them have actually held one.
I mean,
Everybody's
that's
held
fair.
a fucking Switch.
I'm
That's
gonna be
my
hon-
only
I'm gonna
point.
be honest, Alex. I mean, I can go outside and probably go to your next door neighbor, knock on the door, and go, "You know what a Steam Deck is?" And they'll probably go, "No." I'm like, "All right, thanks."
Do you know what a Switch is? Yes.
Yeah,
Probably.
we got one in here. We got two of them actually.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Look, I personally think it's fair. all
I
right?
know, but it's one of those where it's like you're comparing the existing console
Yep.
to what the new console is going to be. Every other console in the history of the world compares it to the existing one.
He's got a point.
Look,
It was just weird, and I got hung up on it. I didn't hear most of what you said afterwards.
John was like, I gotta get this out.
I like
His
legitimately,
brain
you
stopped
You
there.
said Steam Deck, and I went.
I'll go back and whenever I'm cutting up this portion of the show, I'll make sure to highlight that moment. It's like, as I'm going through it, I'll highlight. Did you actually look at me like that?
I'm pretty sure I did because I was like,
so when I get to that moment, I'll make sure to blow it up on the screen of
What
you
you
just like,
really
what the
need
fuck?
to do is get a cutout of a Steam Deck and throw it next to a Switch.
Wait, what?
you'd have to have a side by side comparison because I know what a Steam Deck is. I've never held one. I don't know how big it is.
Look, I've seen side-by-side comparisons of the current Switch and the Steam Deck, okay? So that's why I've seen also now the side-by-side comparison of this 3D printed Switch model and the Steam Deck. So that's what I'm going based off of. Either way, back on track. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about that was not the comparisons, John,
Yeah, because the comparison was bad.
is the power of the console. I mean, it's been
What
kind
are you
of...
going to compare this to? A Samsung phone?
I will actually. Do you want me to? Apparently, Samsung phones are getting Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storms. Shout out to that. Your phone can become a fireball jutsu here soon. So shout out to that, I guess. But no. So
You understood none of that, did you?
no,
John?
he didn't get any of it. But it's happening. It's a thing.
Anime Arena Fighter. They're all the same.
This one's actually not an arena fighter.
It's a
Whatever.
cutscene simulator.
Not
Whatever.
this one. This is like the open world one they tried.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the third one is the cutscene simulator. Aggressively. Anyway, but no, the power of the console though. So apparently the power is going to be set between. I've seen a couple different reports. I've seen one where it says between an Xbox Series S and a PS5, and I saw the standard one we've seen forever of between a PS4 Pro and an Xbox Series S. What, John? I saw you make a movement over here, but I didn't see what it was. What, John?
You're
It was
like
the
it-
same thought I had, so
You're
I'm
like
cool with
in
it.
between an Xbox Series S and a PS5, so I went, for like
Yeah,
here and here.
yeah, exactly. That was my thought when I read that.
Then you said PS4 to Xbox Series X. I was like, that's a little better.
Yeah, PS4 Pro to Xbox Series S. No, so like,
Kind of like the same thing.
I mean, basically, no, like my thought process when I read this, and obviously we've kind of heard the rumors for a while that was going to be the power, but like seeing all the specs and everything from production almost kind of confirming it, like, aren't we going to have the same fucking problem we have right now in like 5 years?
Probably.
Like that's what annoys me about this. Like I get it. Like you want to keep it cost friendly and stuff. Like I totally understand. But it's like we're just going to have the same problem that we have right now with the Switch in like 4 to 5 years, where like any like third party games that's going to come to the console, it can come to the console, but it's probably going to be delayed because it has to get optimized. Maybe not for the first couple of years, like, it'll have to get optimized down, but it may not take as long. But like, I mean, am I not wrong in thinking that like here in about 4 years, we're going to have the same exact problem we have right now? Like, I feel like that's accurate.
Probably.
Yeah, but that's not just Nintendo's problem.
I know. Right now, it's Xbox's too.
I mean, games can't come to Xbox right now because of the Series S.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, realistically, 5 years from now, it shouldn't matter because Nintendo shouldn't be trying to make a console last 10 years.
God,
Nintendo should be. It's like Nintendo should probably be making console last 5 years.
Right.
I mean, it fits their business platform a lot better than it does like Sony and that doing a console refresh a lot sooner because they're just going to sell the same damn games again anyway.
True.
They're gonna re-release everything from the Switch on the Switch 2, or after that one, the next one, they're gonna re-release all the Switch games on that one and call them remasters or something,
right,
and sell it again.
Yep.
And then they're gonna sell all the previous generations games on there again.
Yeah.
And everybody will buy them again.
Yep. Every single time.
That's Nintendo's business structure.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it, but they keep doing it.
And it's been like that since the 2000s.
Basically. And, I will say it's like, well, yes, I look at this and I'm just like, okay, we're going to have the same problem that we have right now. But at the same time, something else to think about is like, I mean, it's nice to have certain like franchises to have that ability. Like, oh man, I'd love to play this on the go. I'd love to play this on the Switch, whatever. But like, let's be honest, like when you're buying a Nintendo console, there's like, I mean, you're buying it for Nintendo, right? I mean, so like that sort of power that if it's going to be between like a PS4 Pro to Xbox Series S, like, bro, I'm fucking excited as hell about what Nintendo's going to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on their name, but like the devs of like Xenoblade and stuff, of what they're able to accomplish and how far they can push the limits with like Xenoblade 3 and everything, like what they've done with Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, like stuff like that. I'm excited as hell for what Nintendo can do. But, there is that. I just see it from like the broader audience perspective where it's like there are people that like to have like, if there's a game coming to the Switch, they love to pick it up on the Switch because they just love the mindset. Oh man, I can play this on the go. There's plenty of gamers that are like that. I see it all the time on Twitter. I see it all the time in YouTube comments. I see it all the time in these videos. That's a fair way to prefer to play some games. But I guess to Nintendo's defense a little bit, while it's nice to have some other titles pop over to Nintendo and stuff, whatever, have the ability to play Call of Duty. We already got that deal in place. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, if you're buying a Switch, you're not buying a Switch for Call of Duty. You're buying a Switch for Zelda and Pokemon and Mario.
That's what I was about to bring up. Is the other thing is, like, honestly, Nintendo, they kind of need to stay in their lane for what they're good at, which is their own games and some of like their third party stuff, but not like people like third party developers making games for the Switch, not making games and putting them on Switch. They should be telling most of these people, no, we don't need your game on the Switch. Yeah, you want to put it there because of the install base we have, but you shouldn't because all it's going to do is have bad press.
Right.
They should just be saying no a lot more. If they said no more, nobody, like, hardly anyone would be complaining about the power of the Switch. It's just the fact that they keep showing how bad it is.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, give yourself a more powerful like console that's still gonna be behind the other ones. And just stop trying to put their games on it. Just put your games on it.
Right.
And don't worry about it.
And don't have a situation like Hogwarts Legacy that it's delayed multiple times and comes out forever later and looks the way that it does.
I mean, remember, we had someone come out and tell us that it looked a lot better for what some of the shots said on the
All right,
Switch.
I was just about to say that. Christina actually bought it
Okay.
because it was on sale in the eShop for $10.
Okay.
So she's like, should I buy it? I'm like, I mean, for $10, sure. Fuck it. Try it. So she said basically kind of what they said. For what it is, it's fine. Like the world like runs fine. Obviously, it looks a lot worse than the other versions. But she said where the game is incredibly bad is the cutscenes. The cutscenes are apparently absolutely awful. But the actual world and gameplay itself is fine. It's not good, because like me and John can agree, the gameplay is overall pretty fun. It feels fluid. Apparently, it is like it's fine. Like there is a downgrade of it, So I don't know. Shout out to
Again,
that, I guess.
and it's fine.
Yeah,
It's a solid 5.
yeah. There you go. No, we had 6 for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 is mid. So yeah, we had it's a solid 6. While it might be like a 7, on Xbox and PlayStation and stuff. So I do know with the Switch 2, there's been like a lot of talk about when it's going to get revealed. A lot of people were thinking this month, which is a valid reason to think it, because one, the Switch was revealed I think early October, and two, since the Switch had come out, they've done something in September every single year. They've never missed September for anything, like like any sort of showcase.
Gotcha.
So we may get a Switch 2 reveal next week. I'm personally banking on October. That's what I think.
There's only one thing that would be nice for the Switch 2. Let's. I mean, I know you're Nintendo. I know you don't like to change. Let's get away from like memory cards because you still have to buy like a memory chip
Yeah,
to
an SD
insert
card.
into your Switch. We need to get away from that and get a decent amount of damn memory on there.
Right.
Because here's the other thing. Yeah, Call of Duty on Switch. They would probably offer that as a digital version.
Yeah.
You would have to buy a 128 gig like SD card to plug into there
Yep.
just to fill it up with one Call of Duty game,
Right.
which would be fucking wild.
Yeah. Nintendo has done an unbelievable job at optimizing their games in terms of storage. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
even Tears of the Kingdom's only like 8 gigs,
Yeah.
right? But like something like Call of Duty, that's going to be big. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think you're going to optimize that down. That's going to be big. So John's right. Like, can we get a better sense of storage? Probably not. Because like this really is just going to be a layup. Like, because even the name Switch 2 is apparently legit. Like, apparently it is like based on the production leaks. Like it's printed on the back. Switch 2 is actually the name.
Cool.
They're just going. They're going simple mindset. They're going simple mindset. It's
I
the
still
Switch
don't.
2.
I still don't believe that they're calling
it-
it Switch 2 just to not confuse anybody. It's
Yeah.
gonna be called the new Switch.
God, see, I don't know if they want to go that route. 'Cause
They've shown time and time again they do.
I know, and that's why I don't know if they want to do it again.
They will.
It worked previously.
It's worked twice before.
It didn't work for the Wii U.
It wasn't called the new
Well,
Wii.
okay, in terms of the
If it was
new,
called the new Wii, it would have been fine.
maybe.
Probably would have, because people would have gone, so my child wants a Wii. And they'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Here's the
I
new
mean,
Wii.
look, that is fair. Because like the issue with the Wii U is when the Wii U is announced, a lot of people, myself included, because I didn't watch the reveal, is I thought it was just a new accessory for the Wii. I didn't know it was a new console until like a couple days later when I actually looked at the reveal. I'm like, oh shit, this is a whole new console.
Yeah.
Just a new Wii accessory. So I think that's also why they may just go something simple for this Switch and just call it the Switch 2 so that people know it's a new Switch.
No, that's,
John's-
that's embracing too much change for Nintendo.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the one thing that you want to see, because I actually want to make a standalone video about this. Is something that I want to see out of the Switch 2, because I got to thinking about it and I did some digging, and it's actually kind of like low-key kind of shocking. Is like I want to see Nintendo create new games on the Switch 2. And when I say that, I mean specifically I want to see them create new franchises. Because if you look at the Switch, they have a terrible new IP lineup. Terrible. Like even like the Wii U era, or the Wii era and everything, like they at least had some stuff that was created in that era, the Wii and the Wii U and the 3DS and stuff. That's like, become like mainstays now, like Splatoon, Xenoblade, stuff like that, But you look at the Switch, I went through the list. So Mario and Rabbids is basically its own thing now, but it's still Mario. So I'm not gonna hard count that. Other than that, Fitness Boxing got like 3 games that started on the Switch. Shout out to that. Labo, Astral Chain, that will probably never get a sequel.
Probably not.
Let's see. There was only like a couple more. Like, I mean, it's a pathetic list. Ring Fit, that's a notable one. It sold a lot of copies. So you could probably get a new Ring Fit on the Switch too.
I mean, a lot of people still play Ring Fit.
Yeah, I mean, Ring Fit's a fun game.
And you get fit.
Arms, that flopped terribly.
It got a second one, didn't it?
No,
Did it not?
I think it only got the first one.
Oh, okay.
You had the 1-2 games that randomly got a sequel of everybody 1-2 Switch, and legit, I think that's it. I think those are like the only like started on the Switch, new IP on the Switch specifically. You know, I'm not going to talk about something like, you know, Xenoblade, which I know it started on the Wii and it was on the 3DS, and it did well on the Wii. It did well, but let's be honest, Xenoblade blew the fuck up on the Switch. You know, I don't count that. It started on the Wii. It started on the 3DS, right? That's a fair, like, I would like to see Nintendo have something new with the Switch too, like some sort of new IP that's actually not just going to fizzle out after one game, or just be a super niche thing. So that's my one thing I want to see. And I kind of want to make a standalone video about that because it's actually kind of astonishing to think about. Where it's like when you think the Switch, right? Huge list of great games. You know, I mean, you got the 2 Zeldas. You know, 3 Houses is great. Mario Odyssey, large list of great games. But then it's just like when you start thinking, I was like, damn, they didn't really make anything new though. Like in terms, like obviously these are all new titles of already existing IPs, but they didn't really establish any new IPs to stick around in the Switch era. It's been out for 7 damn years, and you don't really come up with anything. Like I guess Ring Fit Adventure, sure, but yeah, that's like that's a niche thing. So that's the one thing that I would like to see on the Switch too. We'll see if they do that though. Probably not. They're just going to keep, at the very least, like, look, come on, let's get another attempt at a Star Fox game or something, you know?
Oh, you said new.
Well, I know. I said at least if you're not going to do something new, at least do something like that. I mean, come on now. Give them a chance at life.
Waluigi
We know
Land.
nostalgia doesn't sell.
Man, I would love a Waluigi game.
A large community of the internet would love a Waluigi game.
Facts. I want a Waluigi game so bad. I have for a long time.
A lot of people might not buy it, but goddamn, will it get some traction on the internet?
I think a lot of people would buy it just because of the meme.
You know, there is only because I was like nostalgia. We know nostalgia doesn't sell with like Sony's attempts to get it. Then again, I'm like, no, there is only one company in the world that just sells everything based off nostalgia, and it is Nintendo.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
They are the only like game company out there that's like, you know what? We're gonna sell you the same thing that you bought 20 years ago, and then you bought it 10 years ago. And then you bought it last year, and we're going to sell it to you again.
And
Yeah,
a lot
you're
of
buying it
times,
this year, buddy.
a lot of times, it literally is the same thing.
Oh yeah, no,
Nothing's changed.
It's just it's like 5 years ago you bought it physically. Now you can buy a digital version on our eShop,
Yep.
and it's going to be the top selling thing.
And then sometimes it'll be real special. And it'll be a limited run 3-pack.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Mario. Still got mine sealed, so shout out to that. Nintendo is the king at it, and they're going to do it again with the Switch 2 generation. Hopefully the Switch 2 generation will finally give me my Twilight Princess Wind Waker combo. Probably not, but I can hope. That ship's so dead and gone, in my opinion, but...